Imagine standing on a battlefield where the ground itself seems alive, shifting with the weight of thousands of soldiers, shaking with the thunder of cannon fire. The air reeks of smoke, blood, and desperation. Everywhere you turn, there is chaos. The clash of steel, the screams of the wounded, and the sight of men marching straight into death. These are the moments where history's most catastrophic battles unfolded. Moments where strategies turned into slaughter, and the cost of victory was measured in lives. Stay with us until the end, because the final battle we'll reveal is the bloodiest in human history. Stalingrad wasn't just a battle. It was a relentless siege where the rules of war seemed to dissolve. It's late summer in 1942, and the German army, bolstered by years of victories, marches toward the industrial heart of the Soviet Union. Stalingrad is their target, a city symbolizing Stalin's power and the lifeblood of the Soviet war machine. But as German bombers unleash their fury, turning neighborhoods into infernos, they unknowingly ignite a fight that will become their undoing. The city is unrecognizable. Factories, homes, and rail yards are reduced to rubble, yet each mound of debris becomes a fortress. Soviet defenders dig into the ruins, transforming them into strongholds. Soldiers lie in wait beneath collapsed buildings, striking with sniper fire, grenades, or whatever weapons they can scavenge. The Germans, unprepared for such resistance, find themselves fighting not an army, but an entire city. As autumn turns to winter, the battle intensifies. The Volga River, the Soviets' lifeline for reinforcements and supplies, freezes over, forcing soldiers to cross under constant enemy fire. The bitter cold is unforgiving. Guns jam, frostbite claims fingers and toes, and men huddle in trenches, their breath visible in the icy air. Hunger gnaws at both sides, and tales of soldiers eating rats and boiled leather belts circulate as supplies dwindle. By the time the Soviet forces launch their counteroffensive, the Germans are already weakened. The encirclement, known as Operation Uranus, traps the German Sixth Army in a cauldron of death. For weeks, they hold out in the frozen ruins, but starvation and disease take their toll. When the remnants of the army finally surrender in February 1943, nearly 2 million lives have been lost. The city, once a symbol of industry, is now a graveyard, its victory marked not by triumph, but by survival against all odds. In the blistering heat of southern Italy in 216 BCE, two massive armies face each other across an open plain. On one side stands Rome, fielding nearly 90,000 men, confident, disciplined, and eager to crush the Carthaginian invader who has terrorized their lands for years. On the other side is Hannibal Barca, a general whose cunning has brought him victory time and again. Today, he plans to orchestrate one of the most brilliant and devastating military maneuvers in history. As the battle begins, the Romans advance in a dense, almost unstoppable formation, their sheer numbers a show of overwhelming force. Hannibal's troops, positioned in a crescent, appear to falter, retreating in the center as if overwhelmed. The Roman legions surge forward, sensing victory, but their confidence blinds them to the trap that is unfolding. Hannibal's flanks hold firm, while the retreating center draws the Romans deeper into the crescent. At the perfect moment, the Carthaginian forces collapse inward, encircling the Roman army completely. Chaos erupts. Roman soldiers, packed so tightly they can barely move, are slaughtered with horrifying efficiency. Carthaginian cavalry sweeps behind them, cutting off any chance of retreat. The slaughter is methodical. The heat intensifies the stench of sweat, blood, and death. Soldiers are trampled underfoot, suffocating in the crush of bodies. By the end of the day, an estimated 70,000 Romans lie dead, a staggering loss that shakes the Roman Republic to its core. The battlefield at Cannae is a testament to Hannibal's genius and a stark reminder of the fragility of even the mightiest armies. The sun rises over the trenches of northern France on July 1, 1916, casting its pale light on a scene of tense anticipation. For 7 days, British artillery has thundered ceaselessly, bombarding the German lines with over 1 million shells. The plan is simple: overwhelm the enemy, obliterate their defenses, and march to victory. Soldiers in the trenches believe the worst is already over. They couldn't be more wrong. As the signal to advance is given, tens of thousands of British soldiers climb out of their trenches. They march in neat lines, weighed down by heavy packs and expectations of an easy victory. But the artillery bombardment has failed. The German defenses, deeply entrenched and fortified, remain intact. Machine guns roar to life, sending streams of bullets into the advancing troops. The sound is deafening, a cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and the cries of the wounded. Men fall by the thousands, their bodies crumpling in no man's land. Those who survive the initial onslaught find themselves trapped in a hellscape of mud, craters, and barbed wire. The ground, churned by shells, swallows the wounded, while the unrelenting fire from German trenches leaves no room for retreat. The scale of death is unimaginable. By nightfall, nearly 60,000 British soldiers are dead, wounded, or missing, the bloodiest single day in British military history. The fields of the Somme, once alive with the colours of summer, are transformed into a barren wasteland. The first day of the Somme is a grim epitaph for an entire generation, a tragedy that epitomizes the horrors of industrialized warfare. These battles were more than historical events. They were human tragedies on an unimaginable scale. Stalingrad's frozen ruins, Cannae's encircled legions, and the blood-soaked trenches of the Somme reveal the true cost of war. They are reminders of both the heights of human ingenuity and the depths of human suffering. If these stories have drawn you in, stay tuned. History is full of moments that challenge our understanding of courage, resilience, and sacrifice, and there is always more to uncover.